For the past 7 years, I have been tracking what actually disappears from Costco during supply chain disruptions. And here's what I've learned. While everyone is panic buying the same viral TikTok products and following the same shopping lists, there are specific items that Costco quietly rotates off shelves every single March that nobody talks about. Number 6 is sitting in your local warehouse right now for under $20, and most members walk right past it because they have no idea it's about to vanish for months. The problem is that when everyone reads the same deal blogs and watches the same haul videos, those are exactly the items that either get discontinued or become impossible to find. Back in March of 2023, I watched the Kirkland almond butter disappear in 2 days. But there was another item, same aisle, better price per ounce, fully stocked the entire month. I'm going to show you 11 items that Costco is pulling this March, why they matter, and exactly what to do before they're gone. If you want to stop shopping like everyone else and actually get ahead of these rotations, hit that subscribe button right now because this kind of intel doesn't show up in the weekly ad. Let's start with number 1, and this one is going to make you rethink how you buy coffee entirely. Kirkland's signature Colombian Supremo whole bean coffee in the 3-pound bag. Before you tell me you already buy Kirkland coffee, listen. This specific roast, the Colombian Supremo, gets rotated out every March to make room for seasonal blends and limited runs. Most people grab whatever Kirkland coffee is on the end cap. I'm telling you, the Colombian Supremo is the one you want to stock deep on right now. Here's why nobody talks about this. Whole bean coffee stored properly in an airtight container away from light and heat stays fresh for up to 9 months. Ground coffee, maybe 2 weeks before it tastes like cardboard. Last year during a cross-country move, I had 4 bags of this in a sealed bin. Opened one 6 months later, tasted like I just bought it. Here's what I do, I buy 6 bags every February. I keep 2 in the freezer in vacuum-sealed bags, the rest in a cool closet in their original packaging inside a 5-gallon bucket with a gamma lid. Total cost, around $70 for 6 bags, that's about $12 per bag. Go price a 3-pound bag of comparable whole bean coffee at a specialty store. You're looking at $25 to $30 minimum. And here's the kicker. When this roast rotates out in March, Costco replaces it with blends that cost more per pound and don't taste as good. Most members don't even notice because they assume all Kirkland coffee is the same. It's not. The Colombian Supremo has a smoother profile, lower acidity, and it's one of the only Kirkland roasts that actually lists single origin beans. When the next supply hiccup happens, coffee prices spike first. This is your hedge sitting in your warehouse right now, and nobody is fighting over it because they're all buying the seasonal stuff. Look, Costco rotations happen fast and most people find out after the item is already gone. I've done the work for you and put together a free Costco rotation tracker that lists the exact 15 items that disappear every spring, which aisles to check, and what to buy instead if you miss them. It can save you hundreds in panic purchases and costs nothing. You can grab it for free at the link in the description so you can stop guessing what to stock and start shopping like someone who actually knows what's coming. Number 2 is going to sound boring until you realize what it actually does for your food budget. Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Oil in the 84-ounce tub. Most people see this and think it's just for people who cook trendy recipes or follow keto blogs. Dead wrong. This item gets pulled every March because Costco's organic supplier contract resets and they frequently switch vendors or pause stock to renegotiate pricing. Here's the insight nobody shares. Coconut oil is one of the only cooking fats with a shelf life longer than 2 years, even after you open it. It's a medium-chain triglyceride fat, which means it doesn't go rancid the way vegetable oils do. I opened a tub last month that I bought in early 2022. Still white, still smells like coconut, still perfect. And here's what makes this a sleeper prep item. It's stable at room temperature. You don't need refrigeration. You don't need special storage. Just keep the lid on. During a week-long power outage in February of 2021, everything in my fridge spoiled. But I was still cooking eggs, sautéing vegetables, even making popcorn on a camp stove using this coconut oil. It didn't care that my house was 40 degrees inside. Butter would have been rock solid. Olive oil would have been fine but costs twice as much per ounce. Here's what I do. I buy 2 tubs every February. I use one in the kitchen, the other stays sealed in my pantry. Total cost about $35 for 2 tubs. That's roughly 84 ounces per tub, so you're getting 168 ounces of stable cooking fat for $35. Compare that to buying organic coconut oil at Whole Foods. You're paying $15 for a 24-ounce jar. Do that math. Costco's price is literally half. And when this item rotates out in March, it usually doesn't come back until June or July, sometimes with a different label and a higher price because of the vendor switch. Most people never notice because they're not tracking the organic oils. They're over in the regular oil section buying canola in giant jugs that oxidize the second you open them. Meanwhile, you've got a fat source that doesn't need a fridge, doesn't go bad, and costs less than half what the health food store charges. Number 3 is one of the most misunderstood items in the entire warehouse, and it's about to disappear for the rest of the year. Kirkland Signature Wild Alaskan Sockeye Salmon in the 7-ounce pouches, 12 count. Most people walk right past this because they think canned fish is bottom-tier food or they assume it's the same as the cheap tuna in the regular grocery aisle. Not even close. Here's what nobody tells you. Wild Alaskan Sockeye is one of the cleanest protein sources you can buy. It's low mercury, high omega-3, and the pouch format has no BPA lining like old-school cans. Costco rotates this item out every March because wild salmon is seasonal, and their supplier allocations shift to favor frozen fillets in the spring. Last March I watched this sell out by mid-month and it didn't restock until October. Here's the real story. 2 years ago during a week where I was slammed with work and had zero time to cook, I lived off these pouches. I'd tear one open, dump it over mixed greens with olive oil and salt. 3 minutes, no cooking, 24 grams of protein. I did that for 5 days straight. Didn't get bored, didn't feel like I was eating survival rations. It tasted better than any drive-through option and cost about $2 per meal. Here's what I do. I buy 3 boxes every February. That's 36 pouches. I keep 1 box in the pantry for regular rotation, the other 2 in a cool, dark closet. Shelf life is 3 to 4 years. Total cost around $70 to $80 depending on sales. That breaks down to about $2.10 per pouch. Go find wild sockeye salmon anywhere else in a ready-to-eat format. You're paying $4 to $6 per serving at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. And here's why this survives every shortage. Most preppers are hoarding freeze-dried meals that cost $8 per serving and taste like salted cardboard. Most regular shoppers are buying chicken breast that needs refrigeration and cooks in 30 minutes. This is shelf-stable, ready in seconds, tastes legitimately good, and nobody thinks to stock it because it's not on any trendy prepper list. When protein prices spike, this is what you want in your pantry. Not ramen, not canned mystery meat. Actual wild-caught fish that your body can use. Number 4 is going to sound strange until you see what it replaces in your shopping cart. Kirkland's Signature Organic Quinoa in the 4-pound bag. Before you click away thinking this is health food nonsense, stay with me. This gets rotated out every March because Costco shifts their organic grain supplier contracts and quinoa is the first to go. It usually stays gone until late summer. Here's the insight that changes everything. Quinoa is a complete protein. It has all 9 essential amino acids. That means if you pair it with literally anything, vegetables, beans, eggs, you have a nutritionally complete meal. Rice doesn't do that, pasta doesn't do that, most grains are incomplete proteins. Quinoa is the exception. Last winter I ran a test. I made a massive batch of quinoa on Sunday, stored it in the fridge and used it for 6 different meals throughout the week. Breakfast bowls with eggs and salsa. Lunch salads with cucumbers and feta. Dinner as a side with roasted chicken. It was the base for everything and I didn't get tired of it because the toppings changed. Here's what I do. I buy 2 bags every February. I store one in the original bag inside a sealed container, the other I portion into mason jars with oxygen absorbers for long-term storage. Shelf life is 2 to 3 years if kept dry. Total cost, around $24 for 2 bags. That's 8 pounds of complete protein grain for 24 bucks. Go buy organic quinoa at a regular grocery store. You're paying $6 to $8 per pound. Costco's price is $3 per pound. And here's why this is a game changer during shortages. When rice and pasta get cleared out, quinoa sits untouched because most people think it's expensive or don't know how to cook it. Joke's on them. You cook it exactly like rice. 2 parts water, 1 part quinoa, 15 minutes. Done. No special skills, no soaking, no fermenting. And because it's a complete protein, you're not dependent on meat or dairy to hit your nutritional needs. That matters when food prices go insane or supply chains stutter. Most people are going to be eating plain rice and feeling like garbage. You're going to be eating something that actually fuels your body and costs half what they think it does. Number 5 is sitting in the refrigerated section right now, and most members have no idea it's about to vanish until summer. Kirkland's Signature Organic Grass-Fed Ground Beef in the 4-pound pack. This one rotates out every March because Costco's grass-fed supplier reduces allocation to focus on spring lamb and other seasonal proteins. Here's what nobody talks about. Grass-fed beef has a different fat profile than grain-fed. It's higher in omega-3s and CLA, which means it's not just about ethics or trends, it's about what the food actually does in your body. I'm not going to preach about regenerative agriculture, but I will tell you this. I switched to grass-fed ground beef 3 years ago and the difference in how I feel after eating it is noticeable. Less inflammation, better energy, no weird greasy feeling 2 hours later. And here's the move most people miss. When you buy this 4-pound pack, you're not cooking 4 pounds at once. You're portioning it. Last month I bought 2 packs. I came home, divided each pack into 1-pound portions, vacuum sealed them and froze them flat. Now I have 8 individually sealed 1-pound portions that stack like files in my freezer. Total cost, around $24 per 4-pound pack, so about $6 per pound. Go buy grass-fed ground beef at Whole Foods or a local butcher. You're paying $10 to $14 per pound, sometimes more. Costco undercuts that by half. Here's what I do. Every February I buy 4 packs. That's 16 pounds of grass-fed beef. I portion and freeze all of it. It lasts me 3 months easy, sometimes longer. And here's the key. When this item disappears in March, your only options are grain-fed beef at Costco or paying double somewhere else. Most people don't plan ahead, so they end up paying premium prices in April and May, or they switch back to grain-fed and wonder why their gut feels off again. Meanwhile, you've got months of clean protein in the freezer and you paid February prices, which are always the lowest of the year for beef. This isn't about being fancy. This is about locking in a lower price for a better product before everyone else realizes it's gone. Number 6 is one of the most slept-on items in the entire snack aisle, and it's about to disappear for 6 months. Kirkland's signature organic roasted seaweed snacks in the 10-pack. I know what you're thinking. Seaweed snacks sound like something only toddlers and yoga moms buy. Wrong. Here's the fact that reframes everything. One single serving of roasted seaweed contains more iodine than most people get in an entire week. Iodine is critical for thyroid function, metabolism, and energy regulation. Most Americans are borderline deficient and don't even know it because iodine isn't in much food anymore unless you're eating seafood daily or using iodized salt, which most people don't. Costco pulls this item every March because the organic seaweed supplier is based in South Korea and their production cycles shift seasonally. Last year this sold out by mid-March and didn't come back until September. Here's my real story. I keep a box of these in my car and another in my pantry. When I'm hungry between meetings or need a snack that won't wreck my focus, I tear open a pack. It's salty, crunchy, satisfying, and has literally 10 calories. No sugar crash, no brain fog, just a clean hit of minerals and crunch. And here's the move nobody talks about. You can crumble these over rice, salads, eggs, anything. It adds umami and texture without adding junk. Last week I crumbled 2 sheets over scrambled eggs with sesame oil. Tasted like a restaurant dish. Took 15 seconds. Here's what I do. I buy 2 boxes every February. That's 20 individual packs. I keep 1 box in the pantry for daily snacking, the other in a sealed bag as backup. Shelf life is about a year if kept dry. Total cost, around $12 for 2 boxes, so about 60 cents per pack. Go buy organic roasted seaweed at Trader Joe's or a health food store. You're paying $2 to $3 per pack. Costco's price is a fifth of that. And here's why this survives every shortage. Nobody is panic buying seaweed. It's not on any prepper list. It's not trending on food TikTok. It's invisible. Which means when everything else gets cleared, this is still sitting there and you're getting a nutrient-dense snack that most people are paying 5 times more for somewhere else. Number 7 is the most underrated protein source in the entire warehouse, and it's about to rotate out for the entire spring season. Kirkland Signature Organic Peanut Butter in the 2-pack, 28 ounces each. Most people think all peanut butter is the same. It's not. This one has 2 ingredients, organic peanuts and sea salt. That's it. No added sugar, no hydrogenated oils, no stabilizers. Here's what nobody talks about. Peanut butter is one of the most calorically dense, shelf-stable protein sources you can buy. 2 tablespoons has about 8 grams of protein and 190 calories. That means in a real crunch, a single jar can provide nearly 3,000 calories and over 100 grams of protein. You could live off 1 jar for 2 days if you had to. Costco rotates this out every March because they switch to conventional peanut butter promotions to move higher volume at lower cost. The organic version disappears and doesn't come back until late spring or early summer. Last year during a family camping trip, I brought 1 jar of this, a loaf of bread and some bananas. That was breakfast for 4 people for 3 days. Cost me maybe $8 total. Everyone was full, nobody complained, and I didn't need refrigeration or a camp stove. Here's what I do. I buy 4 2-packs every February. That's 8 jars total. I keep 2 in the pantry for regular use, the rest in a cool closet. Shelf life is over a year, sometimes 2 if stored right. Total cost around $32 for 4 2-packs. That's about $4 per 28-ounce jar. Go buy organic peanut butter with the same clean ingredients at a regular grocery store. You're paying $8 to $10 per jar. Costco cuts that in half. And here's the real reason this matters. Peanut butter is one of the few foods that checks every box. Cheap, shelf-stable, calorie-dense, protein-rich, requires 0 prep. And because it's organic, you're not eating pesticide residue that accumulates in fat. Most preppers are spending a fortune on protein bars and freeze-dried eggs. You can get the same nutrition, better taste, and longer shelf life for a quarter of the price with something that's been sitting in your warehouse this whole time. Number 8 is about to rotate out, and when it does, your baking costs are going to double overnight. Kirkland's Signature Organic Unbleached All-Purpose Flour in the 10-pound bag. Before you tell me flour is boring, let me explain what happens every single March. Costco rotates out their organic flour to make space for seasonal baking mixes and specialty flours that have higher margins. The organic 10-pound bag disappears and doesn't return until fall. Here's the insight. Organic flour matters because conventional wheat is heavily sprayed with glyphosate right before harvest as a drying agent. That residue stays in the flour. Organic wheat can't be treated that way. You're not just paying for a label, you're paying to not eat herbicide. Last spring I got lazy and didn't stock up. By April I was paying $12 for a 5-pound bag of organic flour at the regular grocery store. I needed flour every week for bread, pizza dough, pancakes. It added up fast. Here's what I do now. Every February I buy 6 bags of this. That's 60 pounds of organic flour. I store it in food-grade 5-gallon buckets with gamma lids and oxygen absorbers. Keeps for 5 years easy, sometimes longer if stored cool and dry. Total cost, around $36 for 6 bags, so about $6 per 10-pound bag. Compare that to buying organic flour at the regular store. You're paying $10 to $12 for 5 pounds, sometimes more. Costco's price is literally 1/4 the cost per pound. And here's why this is critical. Flour is the base for everything: bread, pasta, biscuits, pancakes, tortillas. If you bake even once a week, you're going through 5 to 10 pounds a month. Most people buy a small bag every couple weeks and don't realize they're spending $40 to $50 a month on flour alone. You can lock in a year's supply for $36, store it properly, and never worry about price spikes or shortages. When supply chains hiccup, flour is one of the first things to jump in price or disappear completely. We saw it in 2020. We'll see it again. And when that happens, most people are going to be paying triple for conventional flour while you're pulling organic from your pantry at February prices. Number 9 is one of the few Costco items that actually improves with age, and it's about to be gone until fall. Kirkland's signature organic extra virgin olive oil in the 2-liter bottle. Most people assume olive oil goes bad fast. Not true if you store it right. Here's the fact nobody shares: olive oil stored in a dark bottle, kept away from heat and light, stays good for up to 2 years. The polyphenols break down slowly, but if you're using it within a year, you're not losing anything meaningful. Costco rotates this out every March because their organic olive oil supplier is based in Spain and Italy, and spring is when they shift inventory to prioritize European market demand. Last March this disappeared by the second week and didn't come back until October. Here's my story. 3 years ago I bought 4 bottles of this before a rotation. Stored them in a cool closet away from sunlight. Used the last bottle a year and a half later. Still tasted grassy and peppery, exactly how good olive oil should taste. No rancid smell, no off flavor. And here's the move most people miss: you don't cook with extra virgin olive oil at high heat. You use it for dressings, finishing dishes, dipping bread. For high heat cooking, you use something cheaper like avocado oil or refined olive oil. That means 1 2-liter bottle of this lasts months, sometimes a full year depending on how you use it. Here's what I do: I buy 3 bottles every February. I keep one in the kitchen for daily use, the other 2 stored in a dark closet. Total cost, around $45 for 3 bottles. That's $15 per 2 liters. Go buy organic extra virgin olive oil at the regular grocery store. You're paying $20 to $30 per liter. Costco's price is half. And here's why this survives shortages. Most people grab whatever olive oil is on sale or buy the cheap stuff in clear plastic bottles that's already rancid before they open it. This is actual quality oil at a price that undercuts every other retailer. When this rotates out, your only options are non-organic at Costco or paying double somewhere else. Most people don't stock up because they think olive oil is perishable. It's not, and now you know. Number 10 is one of the only Costco items that gives you restaurant quality results at a fraction of the cost, and it's about to disappear for 6 months. Kirkland's signature Italian sparkling mineral water in the 24-pack. I know this sounds trivial. It's not. Here's what nobody talks about. Sparkling water is one of the only shelf-stable beverages that has 0 sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and actually makes hydration more appealing. Most people are chronically dehydrated because plain water is boring and they end up drinking soda or juice instead. Sparkling water solves that without rotting your teeth or spiking your blood sugar. Costco pulls this item every March because their Italian supplier reallocates production to European markets where demand spikes in spring and summer. Last year this sold out by mid-March and didn't restock until September. Here's my real story. I stopped buying soda 2 years ago, switched entirely to sparkling water. Now I go through a case of this every week and a half. I drink it straight or I add a squeeze of lemon or lime. Sometimes I'll muddle fresh mint into it. Tastes better than any soda I used to drink, costs a fraction, and I'm not dumping 40 grams of sugar into my body every time I want something fizzy. Here's what I do. Every February I buy 6 cases. That's 144 bottles. I stack them in a closet. They don't need refrigeration. Shelf life is indefinite as long as the bottles stay sealed. Total cost, around $50 for 6 cases depending on sales. That breaks down to about 35 cents per bottle. Go buy sparkling mineral water at the regular grocery store. You're paying $1 to $2 per bottle. Costco's price is 1/5. And here's why this matters during shortages. When people panic buy, they clear out bottled water. But they ignore sparkling water because it feels like a luxury. It's not. It's hydration with carbonation, and if the tap water goes out or gets compromised, you've got 144 bottles of clean, sealed water that also happens to be enjoyable to drink. Most preppers are storing flat bottled water that tastes stale after 6 months. You're storing something that tastes exactly the same a year later and makes staying hydrated feel less like a chore. Number 11 is the single best value per calorie in the entire warehouse, and it's about to rotate out for the rest of the year. Kirkland's signature organic brown rice in the 12-pound bag. Most people see this and think it's just regular rice with a higher price tag. Not true. Here's the insight that changes everything. Brown rice has the bran and germ intact, which means it has fiber, vitamins, and minerals that white rice doesn't. It's a whole grain. White rice is a refined grain. Nutritionally, they're not even close. Costco rotates this out every March because organic rice suppliers shift allocation to white rice, which moves faster and has higher margins. The brown rice disappears and usually doesn't come back until late summer. Last year I missed the window. By April I was paying $18 for a 5-pound bag at the health food store. I was furious. Here's what I do now. Every February I buy 4 bags. That's 48 pounds of organic brown rice. I store it in food-grade buckets with oxygen absorbers. Shelf life is 2 to 3 years if kept cool and dry. Total cost around $48 for 4 bags, so about $12 per 12-pound bag. That's $1 per pound. Go buy organic brown rice anywhere else, you're paying $3 to $4 per pound minimum. Costco's price is 1/4. And here's the move nobody talks about. Brown rice is the ultimate base food. You can eat it plain with salt and butter. You can stir-fry it with eggs and vegetables. You can make rice bowls with beans and salsa. You can even cook it in broth and eat it like risotto. It's endlessly flexible, filling, and cheap. One 12-pound bag provides roughly 24 cups of dry rice, which cooks up to about 72 cups of cooked rice. That's 72 servings. At $12 per bag, you're paying 16 cents per serving. Show me any other whole grain that gives you that kind of value. And here's why this survives every shortage. Most people are buying white rice because it's what they grew up with. Brown rice sits untouched because people assume it's harder to cook or doesn't taste as good. Both wrong. You cook it the same way, just add 10 extra minutes. And the flavor is nuttier and more interesting than white rice, which tastes like nothing. When rice prices spike or supplies tight, this is what you want in your pantry. Not instant rice. Not white rice that's been stripped of everything useful. Actual whole grain nutrition that costs less than any other option and will still be sitting on the shelf while everyone else fights over the regular stuff. So while everyone else is shopping the same viral haul lists and wondering why their favorite items are always sold out, you now know 11 items that are rotating off Costco shelves this March, why they matter, and exactly what to do before they disappear. These aren't the flashy deals. They're not the Instagram-worthy hauls. They're the items that quietly deliver better value, longer shelf life, and real nutritional benefit, and most members will walk right past them because they're not paying attention. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these you're stocking up on first. And next week I'm breaking down the 7 Costco products everyone thinks are must-buys but are actually a waste of money and shelf space. You do not want to miss that one.